Yeah, he did a 70-metre torp yesterday from one end of the ground. Chris Laddams, I think, took the mark, and then he put a 70-metre torp straight back. So it was quite interesting at one point there when the game was out of your one.
At least you can do that in SANFL games, though, and not get a spray from the coach. You can have a bit of flair, and you can boot your torps now and then when you want to.
Very true. Rob, is South's David Clark picked upon by the umpires or just misunderstood?
I think he's just misunderstood. There's a lot of players that are misunderstood in the SANFL competition these days, and I think he's just a bit misunderstood.
But he's been reported 3 times this season. I mean, it's getting to the point that now the tribunal's on a first-name basis and he's got his own car park.
It's just accidents. It's all accidents and misinterpretations.
Very competitive, isn't he?
He is very competitive. G'day, Clark, if you're watching. Todd, does Ben Hudson have the most impressive knee guard seen in the SANFL this year?
No, look, this year, yes, probably. Yeah, absolutely.
Rob, will Joe Pedler take another 90 games to kick a goal?
No. I believe he wants to have a second goal by game 150 in his career. So I reckon within 60.
Okay.
In fact, if the Eagles are in this year's grand final and they're 8 goals up with 8 minutes to go, I think you can see Joe Pedler run down, drop kick goal on the run.
Oh, he's not getting another $4,200. Don't worry about that. I mean, Joe, if you wanted to kick another goal this year, mate, well done, but there's no more prize
Just
pulling
not
off.
where you heard it first, Eagles fans.
Okay. Yeah. Todd, of these assistant coaches, which is the most likely to get a senior job next? Shane Collins, Greg Phillips or Stephen Rowe?
Stephen Rowe.
On why? What basis?
Oh no, I think finally he's putting his hand up. May not for the Sturt job yet, but I think he's the most interested at the moment.
Okay, I'll throw in an answer, but I don't think Shane Collins will be the next one actually, and I think he probably deserves it. Both of you, Rob first, who will win this year's premiership and why?
I said on my last appearance 6 weeks ago that the Eagles are my team, and I've seen nothing since then to change my mind. I think the Eagles are this year's premiership side.
Todd?
It's time finally for the Eagles. They will win the grand final.
Yeah, you'd almost have to say, when they talk about premiership clock says, it's probably at about 7 minutes to 12 at the moment, and the window of opportunity really is thinning. But yes, I have to agree, they're probably in the box seat.
If Central's a minute, they'd be a bit nervous. But any other competition, I think the Eagles are home.
I have to agree. I think it'll be the Eagles this year, but it's still a long way to go. When we come back after the break, we're going to have a look at the blockbuster at Unley Oval yesterday between Sturt and South.
See you.
And both of the Sturt fans on the panel cannot wait for this one. You're on Total SANFL this afternoon here on C31.
Don't let this happen to you. Protect your biggest investment before it's too late. Call Allstate Pest Control for safe and environmentally friendly pest control. With the revolutionary new Centricom baiting system. Allstate Pest Control. Safe for you, not for termites.
At the printing hub, our phones never stop ringing. Hello, the printing hub. How much for letterheads? Nah, we can do it less than that. Business cards, for what price? Nah, mate, using the wrong printer. Grocers, don't pay that much. Come and see us at the Printing Hub.
The Printing Hub, where you don't pay too much for your printing.
And we're hassle-free, big fella.
Are your kids struggling with maths? Does it feel like maths is taught differently these days? Orange Education can help. We will increase your child's confidence, provide tutor support until Year 12, increase their career choices and guarantee success. Call Orange Education today on 8363 1000 for an obligation-free maths assessment and presentation of the Mathemagic Computer Tutor Program. Orange Education, ensuring a brighter future.
The Media Resource Centre offers opportunities for you to develop new skills through our Career Makers program. Try hands-on workshops, seminars and masterclasses in a range of video and film-related topics. For a full list of what the MRC has to offer, call or visit the website.
And thanks for inviting us into your homes once again on this Sunday afternoon on Total SANFL. At the Unley Oval yesterday in front of 1,731 fans, South Adelaide on the rampage once again. They gave the Blues an absolute hiding. South Adelaide 29-12, 186 defeated Sturt, 11 goals, 13-79. Goal kickers for South, Ilgerson kicked 7, that's his best SANFL tally yet. Ben Warren kicked 4. For Sturt, a lone hand up forward once again, Brant Chambers with 3. Ball hogs there for South Adelaide. Reece Archer, 35 possessions. Alwyn Davey, 27 possessions. New blokes reckon Reece Archer shouldn't be in the state team, I tell you. For Sturt, Sheedy, 34 touches and O'Keefe, 24 possessions. Both of these gentlemen were at the game yesterday, and Rob was obviously wearing that marvellous duffel coat of the game. Have a look at this, folks. I'll tell you what.
Hang on,
this is well worth having a look at.
No, it's the badge. It says the top one. It actually says "Follow with pride, Sturt or champion side," and then underneath is the Rick Davies badge from the early '80s era. My all-time favourite Sturt player. Now, the reason I'm wearing the duffel coat, Chris, is you're back to the '70s show you had on a few weeks ago. It was a marvellous show with yourself, John Nankerville and Ben Hook, looking very good, but you needed a duffel coat.
One that says that Sturt were a champion side. There's actually laws against false advertising at the moment, Robert.
So I thought I'd just wear the duffel coat, and it's funny enough, that's a good look. I actually wore this to the 1976 Grand Final.
Now, do you want to show us what you found in the pocket while you found
in my pocket, viewers? We've got a $2 note and a $1 note, which is amazing what you find in your duffel coat after 30 years. So that's worth
you kept your first pay packet, didn't you?
That's right. $3.01.
That's worth at least $3.01 now. But,
oh dear. Let's have a look at the action from. We won't look at the action from this game just yet, but. Fellas, what on earth happened out there yesterday for Brodie?
Well, I'd like to say, Chris, you've got me to cover 3 games for C31 this year, and round 7, Eagles beat Sturt by 71 points. Round 13, South beat Sturt by 90, and yesterday South beat Sturt by 107. So the 3 games I've covered for C31 have been pretty bad for Sturt supporters side. Like Sturt in the warm-up yesterday, they were impressive. The
warm-up?
In the warm-up.
What did they do in the warm-up?
They looked very good. They passed the ball to each other. The goal kicking, they reckon they got about 80% of their goals in during the practice compared to about 30% the week before. The opening goal of the match by Brant Chambers. Button was very damaging up forward at the start of the game. Sturt looked really switched on for about the first 5 or 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes later, South was 7 goals up, and it just went downhill from there as far as Sturt were concerned. Very funny you should say. This Brodie Atkinson claimed during the week that the players had shown a spring in their step at training. Fellas, I reckon that spring must have been a slinky, just about. No, the players really wanted to do well yesterday. The body language, it was completely different in the warm-up in the first 5 minutes of the game. Yes.
So what happened after that?
Players like Sheedy, Weatherall, Curtis, they were throwing themselves into everything at the start of the game. The players really wanted to do well yesterday. It was they were trying their hardest. 13
goals for in 1 quarter of football, and Sturt only kicked 11 for the game. 13-4 to 1 goal 1 in the third quarter.
Well, yes, the third quarter was a bad quarter. That's when the discipline that completely fell apart for Sturt.
The season cannot finish early enough, can it, for Sturt? They really need to just go away and come back next year, and hopefully some money will appear in the books, and there's some new players at Sturt, as far as I'm concerned.
They do have a couple of bright spots, and we'll show you some of the footage now from this game. We'll see a magnificent mark taken there by Luke Button. But fellas, you're right. I mean, you would expect that with the change of coach, and again, best of luck to Brenton Phillips after he decided to pull the pin during the week, you would ordinarily expect that would have produced a more revived effort. At times yesterday, Sturt were downright shocking.
Oh, the third quarter was the disappointing one. That's when the Sturt defenders especially seemed to lose a lot of discipline and self-control, and they gave away at least half a dozen 25-metre penalties that gave South a few easy goals. That was the mark that we're talking about with young Button, who... He's a very good set of hands. He's shooting for goal at the moment. It's a bit wonky. A couple of helicopter kicks during the first quarter yesterday that could have given Sturt a couple of confidence-boosting goals at the start of the game. In fact, in the quarter-time huddle, Brodie actually took Luke Button aside and gave him a quick pointer in the huddle on how to kick a drop punt, I think.
Was it after this kick?
Wouldn't you have thought that would have happened in the training during the week, maybe?
But for some reason, Button, his couple of shots for goal in the first quarter, the kicks all did stray a bit to the right, as you see with this one here. And this is when Sturt were actually right in the contest and looking good. It was interesting watching Sturt at quarter-time in the huddle, in that Brodie Atkinson, he had the team split up into the 3 groups, your forwards, your defenders, your midfielders, all with the assistant coaches, given the individual talk before Brodie then called him in for the big chat. At 3/4 time, Brodie got to deliver his first spray as a lead coach. The players just all stood in one group, and Brodie just let rip and let them have quite a few minutes, and it was understandable too.
I mean, well, half the side for Sturt is got not much experience, and that really does paint a picture, doesn't it?
There's not much left from the 2002 Premiership side now. It's amazing how it's gone apart in just four years, but there's not much experience left. A lot of good, skillful young kids coming through, but they just haven't got the upper body strength at the moment to apply a decent tackle or to hold on to the ball.
We've talked about a lot of the negatives for Sturt, but South, can they sneak into the 5? The likes of Davey again showed some really good signs. Are they still a sniff?
Oh yeah, South are a good side. They've got a tough draw to come home with. They come home with, I think they've got Centrals and Glenelg and South and North. That's 14 in 3 games.
They can't play themselves either.
No, that's right. No, I have a feeling South Adelaide, the last game of the year for South,
it's Glenelg, I think.
Yeah, they're playing Glenelg the last game of the year, which for South will be a spot in the 5 for them. South yesterday looked very good. Alan Davey was extremely quick, and one of those players. You talked about Backwell not seeming to have a man on him yesterday down at the Bay. Well, Davey, for a lot of the game yesterday, seemed to be running around unchecked as well.
He's probably the most improved player in the SANFL just about this year. I mean, he's always been known as being very flashy and very wide and not very accountable. We had Robert Pullman on the show last week and he mentioned this too. He's really added another step to his game this year with that defensive side. He's prepared to play defensive, but like you said yesterday, give him 5 metres, he'll give you 500.
That's right.
And having 27 possessions yesterday is a good plus for him, because I think he's been hovering around the teens a lot, and maybe this is a step to hopefully bring his game to another level.
Certainly is. The other thing I liked about South Adelaide was they're a very happy bunch at the moment. You know,
a couple of 100-point wins against Sturt would
that's
help.
Right, yes. But South Adelaide teams in the past, I've been one of their biggest critics in the past of South Adelaide, have a habit of fading away as the season goes on. But this year, there's very good team spirit out there. Cupido, only minor role yesterday. Last time kicked 11 goals against Sturt, but yesterday I don't think he came onto the ground until just for half time and only kicked just the 1 goal, and was a very quiet day and was happy just to sit back and watch while Davey and his teammates cut Sturt up.
You've nearly redeemed yourself the last time you were on the show talking about South Adelaide with that little bit.
Have I?
Just about, yes. I think the lawsuits might be staved off for another week because, yes,
South versus Richmond used to say, didn't you? They used to die
couldn't pick them apart.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell them. Yeah. Yes.
How did you see Ben Warren's game yesterday? Very dominant up forward. They're taking the 11 marks in the 16 possessions.
Yeah, Warren is the sort of player though that I've yet to. Yeah, he looks good. But
he looks good.
He looks good.
Blonde hair.
That's right. Yeah, he
good
looks
body.
good.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
He looks good.
What would he make you turn, Rob? Would he?
Yeah. No, he looks good. He looks good.
Right.
But I'm still not
Are you
convinced.
explaining that for our viewers?
But I'm still not convinced about Warren quality opposition against, you know, in a good game finals match. I still think Warren might not be the player that will come through in a grand final for South.
I'm glad you clarified that because I thought we were going into queer eye for a minute.
No, he does look good.
He does actually. All jokes aside, he does. He's the quintessential full forward, isn't he? He just leads hard and straight down the ground and takes that big pair of hands.
Very good lead, but I think if South Adelaide make the grand final, I think someone like Cupido is going to be a match winner because he has the ability to turn a game on its head, as I've seen a couple of times this year.
They've got to make the finals.
They've got to make the grand final
first. They're sitting in 7th, Robbie. All right, so they've got to make the finals first before
good ruck strength. Good ruck strength. Parry and King were far too good for DeLuca and Feast yesterday.
Yeah, well, DeLuca couldn't really hold his feet, could he? You talked about that?
Yeah, I had a chat with a couple of past Sturt players after the game, and they're just wondering what is DeLuca being taught down at Alberton during the week, because DeLuca seems to it's mistiming his leaps and ruck work at the moment. You know, he'll go up way too early, or he'll leave his leap too late, or when he does get a tap, it's normally goes straight to the opposition. So DeLuca, there's a bit of work needed there, I think.
Because unfortunately, if Feasty gives Sturt some competitiveness in the square, he has a little bit of a rest.
That's right.
All of a sudden the floodgates open up, unfortunately.
But he is very good below the knees though, DeLuca. A lot the way he's prepared to work on the ground for his possessions and that sort of thing.
A couple of possessions really shows that from yesterday. He didn't do very well.
Future guest on the show, Todd. So in summary, is Brodie going to be the right man for the job down there, or do they need that experienced coach for a couple of years?
You can't make the decision based on one game. No, Brodie, you've got to give him the 4 games to finish off the season.
Absolutely, and there's not enough, and there's not a lot of money going around at Sturt either, so they can't afford someone high profile. So a Brodie or a Collins, you were sort of hinting at before, an untried person is going to get a real crack at Sturt next year, no doubt.
I'd like to see Collins given a go personally, because I know he's done some exceptionally good work at Hills Junior football, and I know he has a very good rapport with young kids. Obviously he's taking the youngest list in the league at the moment. I think he'd be a perfect fit down there, but yes, you're right, it's going to come down to finances. In an ideal world, you'd like to see an experienced coach come down there and guide them for a couple of years.
Full-time coach. It's time for Sturt. They need a full-time coach. This part-time stuff that Phillips has had over the last few years is probably not where we need to go as a club.
What did you think about the idea raised during the week of Philip Carman coming back?
No, he burned his bridges when he left, I think. So we can't go backwards.
Burnt his bridges?
Yeah. No, look, he was stale. He'd been there a long time, 6 years. I think, look, with some of the players, I don't know, some of them are still hanging around. There's not many left, but from that era. But I think it's just time. We're looking at a new direction. We've got half our team now in under 20, under 30 games. You need someone to teach the kids. Now we've got to find that person.
I think Sturt Football Club have been very lucky. The last 2 gentlemen they've had as their coaches have both been outstanding men. Phil Carman was outstanding from 1995 through to 2001 because he got a group of players who no one else wanted in the mid-90s and was able to bring them all together at the time, and made them a finals team and went with an ace of winning the 1998 grand final. Brent Phillips then came in and was able to just get that extra 10% out of him to make him premiership side. And Phillips was an outstanding coach, and I have nothing but the highest regard for Brent Phillips, and I wish him well. It's unfortunate that the season this way panned out as it did, but you could tell very early on the season that Sturt were always going to be struggling this year, just due to the loss of players.
It's all about timing. Carmen, it was the right time for Carmen at Sturt. Phillips came over, improved them a little bit more. Now Sturt are going to a different level, a different generation now. We've got a lot of young kids, and Phillips wasn't the man for that. Whether Brodie is, we'll have to wait and see.
Oh, it's definitely a whole new era starting up. But it depends who Sturt, Hurley will probably go in the draft. Paley, Barton, there's fringe players that might go as well. But Sturt need a lot of, they need strength in a hurry. There's just no strength around the ground at the moment. No. Players like Curtis, who try to use strength, don't quite have the height or the speed to go with it. Better players for Sturt are the older guys who are obviously starting to slow down a bit. Sheedy and Chambers, they're the two stars remaining in the side at the moment.
Can we have your votes for the C31 at the toss of a coin? You pull it. $1,000 Player of the Year, please, Robert.
Okay, starting 3 points to Owen Dave, clearly best on ground yesterday. 16 kicks, 11 handballs, 3 goals. Too much pace for the entire Sturt side. Basically, he was burnt everybody off yesterday. He was far too quick for Sturt. 2 points to Stephen Kenner. Every time I see South Adelaide play, Stephen Kenner just jumps out at me.
He runs really quick, doesn't he?
He does. His little legs pump up and down.
Just a little road runner, isn't he?
That's right, yeah. He's not running on the spot. He's actually moving away. 17 kicks, 8 handballs, 3 goals. I've yet to see him play a bad game. And 1 point, Reece Archard.
He was unlucky.
Oh, that's right, yeah. Archard.
Shouldn't he got the 3?
No, he only got the 1. He's another quick move around the ground. He was everywhere, always in the action. 15 kicks, 20 handballs and 1 goal. And I actually have yet to give a Sturt player a vote in this competition as well this year, which is also very sad.
Well, funnily enough,
only won 3 games.
The leading Sturt player only has 6 votes in the award anyway at the moment, which is a perfect...
Chambers?
It is Brian Chambers, funnily enough. You've been watching your total SANFL, haven't you?
Congratulations once again to Brian Chambers. 4 goals again yesterday in the side that was well beaten. This guy does not give up, and I admire his attitude. He's been brilliant this year for Sturt. He's won the respect of all Sturt fans.
Imagine how they'd be if he wasn't there at the end of the year. Let's have a look at the leaderboard for the C31. At the toss of a coin, you pull it Player of the Year award. Currently leading now on 20 votes is Brett Backwell, and he is now, of course, the McGarry Medal favourite also. On 16 votes, Jeremy Clayton and Justin McConnell from Glenelg. McConnell didn't poll yesterday. 15 votes, Tim Inkster from Woodville West Torrens. He has a chance to add to his tally today. And on 14 votes is James Gallagher from Nord in the award there. Let's have a look at the club corner and see what your club is up to this week. At the Eagles, sign on for your 2007 membership now, and you'll receive the remainder of 2006 free, including access to the members area during the finals. That's a great incentive there, so make sure you renew your membership or join up as a member at Woodville West Torrens. In fact, that's the same for all SANFL fans. Don't just be a supporter of your club, be a financial member of the club. The money goes back into the club, and we know that the SANFL clubs all need your financial support to make sure that they can remain financially viable each and every year.
And this year would be the best year to join up as an Eagles member, because you could get a premiership year.
Jump on the bandwagon, according to Rob Douglas. Yes. The Woodville Heritage jumpers, the signed 1964 replica Woodville jumpers, are still for sale on eBay. There's not much time left to go on that. www.ebay.com.au. The Bob Hank Tribute Night is going to be massive. Friday, September the 1st at the Parks Convention Centre at Amy Stadium. $80 per person, 3-course meal, entertainment, beer, wine and soft drinks at 7 p.m. A night not to be missed. You can book this with Georgie on 8347 2444. And looking at the Nord Football Club, the next function in the Nord Business Series will be held on Thursday, September the 7th in the Rubicon Room at the Adelaide Convention Centre, starting at 6:30 p.m. After work drinks held on the eve of the AFL Finals. Tickets are $45, include finger food and a guest speaker. It won't be me, unfortunately. Full bar facilities and free car parking available. Bookings are essential. 8362 6278. Robert.
Sturt Football Club, they're having their disco ball. It's the dust off your flares and your duffel coats and come along to the Sturt major fundraiser.
Play that funky music, white boy.
And you can groove to the disco beat. Hopefully they'll play The Hustle by Van McCoy. That was a great song, 1975.
Keep to the script.
Hosted by Mark Soderson. It's going to be a top night. Entertained by DJ Disco Mama. And it's going to be a great array of auction items available on the night, but not this duffel coat. This stays with me, the original owner. But follow with pride, their champion side. Saturday the 2nd September 2006, 7:30 p.m. for an 8 p.m. start at the Adelaide Cup Room at the Alan Scott Park Racecourse, Morford Road, Morphevale. $88 a head, and includes a 3-course meal, beer, wine, soft drinks and some songs by Slade and Status Quo, hopefully. Bookings are essential. Telephone the Sturt Football Club on 8271 4611 for the disco ball. Dress, they recommend here your 1970s disco or neat casual or your duffel coat. Todd.
Is that all? The duffel coat?
Yeah, Douglas and
Oh,
Todd.
gee.
So just a duffel coat with nothing else.
A couple of badges, maybe.
Oh, that'll be a real treat for the fans.
Grow one of those little things on the
if you want.
as well. Okay, Todd.
All right, moving to Bloods news, Robbie. Check out the new website, www.westies.com.au. For the brand new website for them. Westonian Ball, Saturday, August the 26th, to be held at the Hyatt Regency Ballroom. $125 per person, includes pre-dinner drinks, 2-course meal, beer, wine and champagne and soft drinks. 15-piece big band starring Johnny Cole and Marlene Richards. Extravaganza floor show, dancing with the football stars.
And you get to dance with Jeremy Jakes.
Maybe. Bookings through Nick or Gillian. Nick can be contacted on 0433 192 965 or Gillian on 8298 8777. The Balaclava Cup also on Wednesday, August the 30th. I know Chris will be there. Support the Westonians and join them in at the marquee at the Balaclava Cup for $110 per person, including transport, entry, food, beer and wine. Meet at the West Adelaide Footy Club car park, and bookings with John Flanagan on 0419 855 700.
Yeah, it should be a huge day, the Balaclava Cup. This year it's August the 0.05 Don't Drink and Drive Balaclava Cup. Very responsible there because it is a huge day. And tell you what, fellas, if you can get your feet on a bus or anything like that to go up there, it is a massive day, really. It probably is bigger than the Adelaide Cup now, the Balaclava Cup.
How many winners yesterday did you pick in the TAB competition, Chris?
What's that got to do with the Balaclava Cup?
Horse racing.
Welcome to completely unrelated segues. Okay. As most people know, the TAB punters competition out there. Yes, I foolishly put an entry in, and yes, somebody on this panel got one and somebody got none, and guess who got the one? 3 points up for you, Rob, no doubt about that. I'll tell you what, bragging rights for the rest of the year on this one.
That's the only thing he beats anyone at, so it's all right.
Yeah, pretty much yesterday. Well, let's have a look after the break at the big game today at the Woodville Oval, Eagles versus Nord. You're on Total SANFL this afternoon with myself, Chris Kendall, Rob Douglas and Todd Wellington.
At the printing hub, our phones never stop ringing. Hello, the printing hub. How much for Leatherheads? Nah, we could do it less than that. Business cards, for what price? Nah, mate, using the wrong printer. Grocers, don't pay that much. Come and see us at the Printing Hub.
The Printing Hub, where you don't pay too much for your printing.
And we're hassle-free, big fella.
You want it, you pull it. You name it. With over 3,000 cars, you'll find it, you pull it, and you pay less at Lonsdale and Elizabeth. You better believe it. You want a door, you pull it and pay $49.50. You want mags, you pull it and pay $27.50 each. You take your own tools, you pull it, you carry it out, you save. You beauty. You pull it self-serve auto. You'll find them 7 days at Meyer Road Lonsdale and Wammer Road Elizabeth. You pull it, you save, you betcha.
Just a smidge over 60.
Well, take a look at the back. Look how many deliveries I've got to do before 5 o'clock.
Well, it's not very busy. There's hardly any cars on the road.
I have to pick my little brother up, and I promised him that I wouldn't be late.
Speeding. What's your excuse?
A smile on a child's face goes a long way.
Volunteers with Interchange care for children with disabilities.
To me, it always has been about giving something back and helping somebody.
I always look forward to the weekend I have her. She's more of a mate than a child now.
They actually genuinely believe that Kimberly and Nathan are their friends, not just somebody that comes to visit.
If you'd like to share your home and family, phone Interchange.
I think it's something that a lot more people should do.
Did you know that over 17% of South Australians have difficulty reading printed material? That's around 1 in 6 South Australians who find it hard or impossible to read daily newspapers, or a weekly magazine, or a best-selling novel. If you or someone you know has trouble reading printed material, there's a community radio station that's here to help. 1197 AM RPH Adelaide, South Australia's quality radio reading and information service.
And we're in the home stretch now of Total SANFL. Today down at the Woodville Oval, it's almost a pseudo-elimination final for the Nord Football Club when they meet the Eagles. Let's have a look at the Nord team from the back line. Duggan, Zorzi, Nitschke, halfbacks. Bailey, Jackman, Pfeiffer, centre line. Gallagher, Brett, James, Gavin Hughes. Half forwards, Brinoli, Vlatko, Bartamucci. Forwards, Bowen, Koshel, Colpert. First ruck, Meeson, Campbell and Borlace. Interchange, Hill, Carslake and Crouch. Timmy Nicholas missing out again there, fellas. Interesting rumours coming out of the club there that he's a bit out of favour at the club at the moment. Very unfortunate for Tim Nicholas. Can we have the Eagles team, please, Todd?
Okay, a few changes overnight, Chris. Forward line for the Eagles, Knight, Passador, Inkster, half forward, Cooper, Grokey, Westbrook. Centres, Treby, Powell, Jarrod. Half back, Nelson, McClay and Curtis. Nelson, coach of Sturt, now playing for the Eagles. Needs another game, obviously, to improve. Backs, Fiarchi, Pedler, Salter. Rucks, Lindsay, Colville and Sikalella. And obviously, some more changes here. Davies, Rishbyth, Kay and Miles. So Sturt players are doubling up on the weekend.
They've been very active in the trading markets overnight. Obviously,
so
they're the
Sturt
Eagles.
Don't have a team next week.
I would hazard a guess the half-back line for the Eagles will actually be Shattock, Jacobs and Potter, if my maths is correct.
McKenzie, I reckon.
McKenzie possibly there, so you don't think McKenzie would line up on the bench with Regolo and Simons?
No, I think McKenzie's got to start. Come on, McKenzie at the half-back.
I would hope so there, but let's getting off the inaccuracies of that published team in this morning's paper. Fellas, massive game here for Nord. Are they up to it?
I think they certainly are. They are good enough to beat the Eagles because after this game, Nord finish off the season with West Adelaide, Sturt and then a bye. So Nord
nothing like about taking one game at a time, do you think? If they look about the next 2 weeks after that, they're gone. They have to win this game. They've got to win this game
they've got to win
first,
this game.
And they won't.
If they win this game and then win the following two, well, then they could scrape in a fifth spot. Nord, they're going to hit the Eagles with everything today.
Yeah, they will, but come on. I think there's something special down the Eagles this year, and I think it's time. And I don't think the Eagles dropped one a couple of weeks ago to South by a big margin. I think 11-12 goal down at South. They're not going to drop their form lead into finals. I think they will win easy. And look, the likes of Treby, Jarrod, Colville, Sikalella, Westbrook, they've got players to burn.
Plus all those guys I got from Sturt overnight. But,
absolutely. They've got a squad of 50
right.
now. But no, look, I think too much to play for, and the form of Inkster is something special as well.
Yeah. He'd have to be also firming in for the Magarey medal, but you're right. They've got so many good options up there. Passador is an interesting one because I suspect Zorzi can keep him to 2 goals or less. I mean, we don't rate a lot of people outside Nord don't rate Zorzi very highly. Well, he's been fantastic at fullback playing outside his weight division.
So why didn't they name Chambers at full forward as well with half the other players?
Actually, Chris, just getting back to Nord. Now, Nord last week, they were in a winning position against South Adelaide, and a lot of Nord supporters at the game did get themselves quite excited during the second and third quarters. What went wrong for Nord last week?
They looked to almost run out of legs more than anything else. They were very contented with being 29 points up, and from that moment they stopped noticeably. And this is part of the problem with Nord. They did it against Glenelg a couple of weeks back as well. They did it against North Adelaide and almost let North Adelaide back in the game. These last quarters are a real problem for them. And as we know, there was an interesting stat before when they were leading at half time. A lot of the